bienvenidos una vez más, otro video de Vampyr, el juego de hoy. Lo están regalando en Epic Games, está muy bueno, chéquenlo. Estamos en el segundo episodio, justamente aquí nos quedamos. Vamos a continuar la historia.
Main weapon, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate exactly why I think that. The very first weapon with parry you can get in the game is boss fight. PS4, you use the triangle button to parry it. On the side, on the PS4, you use the triangle button to parry. Take a look at how good a skill it is when you use it constantly. This is the first boss in the game, and you can literally just stand in front of the boss the whole time, blocking every single attack. Notice the brown bar underneath the boss's health bar too. That's the enemy stun bar. Notice how every time his attack is blocked, a decent amount of stun damage is dealt. So,
O sea, cómo hacer par así, a darle pasión. Ah, cabrón. Y Pedro va a ser como Brad Pitt. Voy a buscar ratas a la verga. Ah, yo creo que sí vieron la película, la entrevista con el vampiro estos güeyes, la neta, porque sí hay muchas cosas. No es todo, pero sí metieron un poco de la película también aquí. Tienen un pinche champurrado medio culero.
Stay away! Look lively! It's on to us!
Aléjese.
Look at it! Vicious bugger! It's a leech! Kill it!
Tiempo.
A leech! A leech! Bloody monster!
Ah, estúpido.
Bloody monster! Want some of this?
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
It ain't human! Kill it!
¿Cómo sabes que no soy humano?
Mine! I'll take it! It's on him! It's on him! Christ, he's dead! Filthy piece of shit! Oh my god! Shit, that leech is fucked! There's one of them vermin! Don't like that, do ya?
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. It's locked, all right. It's locked.
A los ciudadanos de Londres, toque de queda, advertencia sanitaria oficial, las campanas de la iglesia sonarán para anunciar el toque de queda a las 9 de la noche. Todos los ciudadanos deben abstenerse de salir a la calle desde esa hora hasta las 5 de la mañana, hasta nuevo aviso.
Easy, boys. Don't forget, check every roof, every door. It's one of them!
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it! Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just frayed me last nerve.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Worse than a week-old lavvy.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey! I didn't do anything, it ain't me!
Yes, you did. And it was cowardly and inexcusable.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Bloody heart, boy.
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now. Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
The doctor, Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as... You have the money.
Solito se puso el Winamp con la música más oscura que tengo.
What? What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now.
Détensela.
Don't bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. I will return later.
So far, no matter how far, in away from the heart, even knowing of who we are, and nothing else matters. Enough.
Cordial could be the answer.
It's locked, all right.
Tiene bronquitis. Hace poquito también me dio como bronquitis. Ay, güey. Por no poner cortinas.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
Era un doctor.
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
For there is no protection against malevolence and trickery. You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Hijito mío.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city.
Well, I suppose... What do you...
The beast.
I have heard enough.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
¿Es la muda? Es muda,
I know
¿verdad?
you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? I know you... Very well. The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. I cannot enter.
Stupid beast! Back, demon! Back! Smoking leech! Get a taste of this!
Hello again, miss. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. I know you Camellia, I know you work. You don't seem to need my... Very well. Goodbye, then. It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. Hello again. Very well. It's locked.
Don't be shy, handsome.
I'm not
All right.
Do you know?
I don't.
You seem...
Dorothea helps the sick.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask...
Please be my guest.
Really?
I'm a pope.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was
Not
Darius...
What can you tell me about an old...
Darius...
Not
Darius...
May I ask... I'm looking for I'm looking I'll leave you alone. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in. Hello again, miss. Very well.
For there is no protection against malevolence and trickery. You are blinded by your
Peace of mind. Come. You just look the other way this week, Joe. Come on, we can sort it out, right? It's not my call, Barry.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see, Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
I'm thirsty. Give me a drink.
I need help.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. First, suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along? We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed! That sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then.
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
We have a deal.
Leech spotted! Watch out, boys! Die, vermin! We have to stop it! He's mine! I'll take it! This one's mine! Oh, Christ! It's all a bloody joke to you, innit? Taking drugs from the sick and suffering.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the street.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so
Kill
deliberately.
it, boy! There's one of them burning! Burn it, boys! Crush the leech, boys!
Fuck.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Put an end to you! Burn it, boys! Burn it! That's That's what you do with leeches.
Crush the leech, boys!
Die, vermin! We have to stop it!
My sweet girl.
Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good e-
Goodbye, Nurse.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Ay, la vampira.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you, it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always...
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it. Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak. But I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stole, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
But the risk of infection using vampire blood could compound the situation.
I know, but your blood now carries remarkable regenerative properties. With our minds and your blood, there's nothing we couldn't cure.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened.
¿Quién es?
Diva, Canazón, muchas gracias por pasar. Feliz Navidad, feliz Año Nuevo. Todavía igual mañana también, pero sí va, feliz. Estamos jugando el juego gratis de hoy. Está disponible en Epic Games.
Get them weapons ready! We found one! I'll kill you! See them fancy clothes? This one's a top! Over there! There's one of them vermin! It's too strong! Die, vermin!
idea, sister.
I don't know if I have the strength.
Somebody help! Somebody help! Who are you? What do you want? Somebody help! Somebody help! Who are you? What do you want? Somebody help!
Are you all right? It's locked, all right. Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary? and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place.
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Oh, Mary.
He's done.
What have I done? If I could only change one thing. One thing.
A nightmare. It's
This is a nightmare.
This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
She was a good person. Vibrant, full of life. She was kindness incarnate, my Mary.
You're a good person, Jonathan. And a young Ekon. A newborn cast into the night without so much as a candle to guide your way.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How is it possible? Tell me. Is it so easy to take a life every night, and then just smile and nod at those you spared?
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You've felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
You may be right.
Of course. I've stared upon this world for centuries.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
O sea, porque siento que se va a levantar.
Burn it, boy!
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon?
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Best be moving on. This is no place for a gentleman.
Yes?
What do you want?
What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
Necesito confesarme.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know.
Ah, es que soy recién
I've
nacido.
forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
¿Recuerdan de la película del diablo con el diablo? Que el vato dice también, me quiero confesar. Y le dice, no, yo te ayudo. No, es que de verdad quiero confesarme directamente con Dios. Y el padre le dice, no, es que yo soy lo más cercano a Dios, yo te puedo ayudar. Se confiesa y el pinche padre culo le avienta a la policía. Che, padre ojete. Pero le dice, no hay nada que no me puedas decir. Pinche.
I've told you once. This is a private concern.
Your eyes burn with rage. Yet I see the pain.
Le habla a la policía, güey.
I am here to lighten the burden.
Como en la de la ley de Herodes también, que el padrecito tenía un cuadernito donde anotaba los pecados de todos.
As you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
It was an accident. A terrible, terrible accident.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
She died because of me. How do you think I feel?
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What would you like her to know?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Puta, me va a reportar el vato.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
Goodbye.
I'll take it. God walks with me. Die, vermin! Over there! There's one of them vermin! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Like to know he's been accepted by the Wet Boot Boys.
Muertos adentro.
Remorse.
El remordimiento y el dolor.
When binding you to the earth. You.
I remember you.
Remember you.
Ay, güey, ahí está enfrente de mí, ¿da?
Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Vamos a ser pinche demonio, ¿no? Ponte la canción, a ver. Y la canción dicha chi. Pero si es el demonio, entonces hice un trato, ¿qué pedo? Es que algo, o sea, ¿cómo morí entonces? No me acuerdo de mi muerte. Yo pensaba que era un vampiro.
Tell me what you are.
I am the whitened bones and blackened soil. The land made blood coursing through thy veins.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
¿Qué onda?
¿Quién es?
Ay,
I've had
güey.
enough of others making decisions for me.
Haruto Tempestad, saludotes, Haruto. Gracias por pasar. Estamos jugando el juego de hoy gratis. Lo puedes reclamar en Epic Game gratis para que te lo requedes para siempre. Solo por hoy porque está regalando un juego diario. O sea, regalan hoy y ya mañana regalan otro. Entonces tienes que reclamarlo porque si se te... Por ejemplo, el de ayer ya lo regalaron ayer y así. Entonces reclámalo. Está muy chido. Saludotes. Gracias por dar tu like. El pinche Satanás. Ay, güey. Yo esperaba otro pinche vampiro. Ahora resulta que soy el primero.
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
¿Quién quiere esconderse?
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
Are you worried about the situation or your reputation? Now is not the time to think of oneself.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
You want to restore peace in the hospital again?
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Well, they are not far wrong. The hospital is almost crawling with vampires.
McCallum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this. Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Oh, Jonathan.
Yes.
Jonathan,
Thank you, my...
How may
Have you embraced this woman?
Her name was Amelia.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital.
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is...
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of...
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnawed...
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club. are the most powerful vampires in Britain.
Ah,
and exert
son como los
tremendous influence.
son como los vampiros que
Take
mataron
my
a la niña
advice and
en la
stay
entrevista con el
well
vampiro.
away.
Hermandad de vampiros. Es como un sindicato de vampiros. Están sindicalizados. En la película eran vampiros que fingían ser humanos, que fingían ser vampiros, porque acuérdense que tenían un teatro y ellos fingían que eran humanos que actuaban como vampiros. Por eso dice Brad Pitt, vampiros que fingen ser humanos, que fingen ser vampiros. Qué curioso.
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe
De hecho, eso sí está más cabrón. O sea, es peligroso que los humanos son los vampiros mismos, entre ellos mismos, pues. Porque a Brad Pitt lo metieron en un sarcófago de acero, lo encerraron en un chingo de vampiros. Y como todos los vampiros son igual de fuertes, ahí sí está cabrón.
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
Igual o más. Sí, sí tiene mucho de la entrevista con el vampiro. No es igual, pero si toma, sí bebe, vaya, hay varias cosas, varios detallitos muy chidos. Y creo que es lo mejor.
It seems the Freewen are redoubling their patrols in the district. I must be more.
Look at it! Look at it! Stay back! Beast! Steady, boys! We've got one of them here! Stupid beast! Crush the leech, boys!
For now, everything seems under control, more or less.
Don't forget to keep an eye out for this guy.
Mark my words, miss. These murders are the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. It comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth? Claws? Murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Good evening, sir.
And what do you...
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm...
A man of science!
I'm looking...
The sad saint? He should be at his night.
Really?
It's nothing personal, Doctor.
I call... Maybe at least...
Tell you...
Goodbye.
nowadays, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom Watts about him.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as
I heard the sad saint was...
The important thing is...
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a room.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end.
Goodbye, Mr.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a... Just to solve one.
¡Oh! ¡Un licántropo a la verga! ¡Oh! ¡Verga! No mames. Este es más fuerte que el otro. Puto Lycan de mierda. Me cagan los licántropos. Ah, es una mamada, güey.
Seems like the guard of Prewin is on Sean Hampton's trail, too.
Grenade! Kill it all, you burn it, boys! Die! Die, Bernie!
Ah, verga. Ah, Chile me cagan los Lycans.